Hello guys and welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today, Speed Freaks is out for pre-order. Now, a lot of people have been asking, because obviously I have been doing a lot of Orky content because it's Orktober and because I'm a massive Ork fan. They've been asking why I've not been covering all Games Workshop's little leaks and hints and shows and things like that. And yeah, they would have got me a couple of extra views. But there was nothing really that really made me go, I need to do a video on this today. So what we're going to do, as you can see across my many tabs, is we're going to have a look through what Games Workshop has given us this October. Some of it good, some of it blur, but all of it Ork. So, first thing I'm going to mention is pre-orders are out today, as I've already said, and I'm saying again, and I will probably mention 3 or 4 more times in this video, for Speed Freaks. Now, I am super excited for Speed Freaks. If you go back and you look at the content through our channel, you'll notice that there's a couple of things that would mean Speed Freaks is something I like. I mentioned a lot I love Orcs. I mentioned a lot I loved Gorkamorka. But also, there's a little game that I'm sure a lot of you have played called Gaslands. Now, this game to me feels very much like a mix of Gaslands and Gorkamorka, with the cool little hide the dial elements of the likes of X-Wing. So I'm very, very excited by this. It is a standalone, as it says here, a standalone boxed game of Orktacular vehicle combat. It's not Gorkamorka, and that's cool. I didn't want Gorkamorka. I want Gorkamorka, don't get me wrong, but I want Gorkamorka as Gorkamorka, or you know, an updated variation on it, like we got with Necromunda and like we got with, you know, all the other properties, Blood Bowl and such. I still want that. I didn't want Gorkamorka repackaged under the name Speed Freaks. If, hopefully, they do Gorkamorka, I want proper Gorkamorka. I want a giant fort. I want people fight. I want diggers. I want grots, rebel grots no less. I want Gorkas and Morkas, and I want them fighting over scrap, and I want them building effigies, and I want them trying to escape the godforsaken rock. That's what I want. And I want racing, and I want blowing things up, and I want punching each other and stealing each other's teeth. But from Speed Freaks, I wanted something entirely different. I wanted, basically, go back to the PlayStation 1. There's a game called Destruction Derby. Most of you who got a PlayStation for Christmas the year it came out would have got Destruction Derby as your game with it, because I think that was the one that came free. And that cool demo disc that had Abe's Odyssey on it. That was basically it. But yeah, this feels like Destruction Derby for me. And I loved that game as a kid. I love that game now. I've got it for the PS Vita on the PS1 Classics. And I still play it. Not as often as I should, but I still play it. And in the back of my mind, I'm a Speed Freaks. Not an Ork knob, don't get me wrong, I'm only short, so, you know, maybe I'm a boy, maybe it's just a grot driving it, but that's in the back of my mind, that's what I feel like, and that's what I feel this game's going to deliver. Now, it does come in at the £90 mark, which is exactly what we said it was going to when we were having all our many discussions on the many Ork-based Facebook groups I'm on. £90 seemed what it was coming in at. Do we think £90 worth it? Well, that remains to be seen. Let's have a look what comes in this set. So, you get a 24-page rules book. You get some miniatures. That's not very specific, it tells you down here. So, you get 12 data cards, 48 damage cards, 24 custom job cards. So, for customization, you get obviously your token sheets, your folding card double game boards, 20 special 6-sided dice, 1 8-sided dice, and the models. Let's see if it tells you specifically. Yeah, so Speed Freaks includes 8 multi-part plastic vehicles, along with a set of barricades used in game. A custom booster blaster, rather resembling the sort of overpowered beach buggies you might have found in Ancient Terror. So, that's not bad. A shock jump dragster, now that's the one that looks like a race car, 6 bikes, which seem to be the bikes that you normally get, and a set of barricades. Now, let's have a look at these in more detail. So, this is the main set, this is the gubbins. We've seen this before. You get the little things so you can hide your dice, you've got your cards because that's pretty standard with Games Workshop now, and I think it's pretty standard across the board with everyone, to be honest. They are just the standard bike kits that you get, and that's not a problem. They're a nice kit. I really like these barricades. At first I thought they were the old resin barricades you used to be able to get. I don't know if anybody remembers them. Around the 2010 mark, you used to get a set of barricades, and there were some Imperial, and there was some Orky, and they were fantastic. And I really wish Forge World or someone like that would redo them because they were beautiful. But these are nice. They've got that Orky vibe to them. I hope they come out as a set separately, but I probably assume they won't. They'll only be in this kit as another incentive to buy it, and that's fine. I'm ordering 2, so I'll get plenty. But I would like more. I would like hundreds of them. I would just basically like Orc Terrain. Games Workshop, pull your fingers out. It's fine. I'm calm. So then you get this set. So as you can see, 3 bikes and this, and then 3 bikes and this, and that's cool. I mean, we are going to talk about the vehicles in more depth anyway, because as I said, we've got a wealth of things to come across. I'm hoping with these Orc bikers it is the full sprue and not like an amalgamation or a half-assed version of the sprue. And the reason being that I want all the extra gubbins for it, obviously, because I'm an Orc and gubbins are always good. But yeah, these vehicles, as I said, we're going to discuss them in a lot more detail. But they're nice. I have absolutely no problem with these at all. And again, the bike kit, I've seen people saying, oh, it is the standard bikes, and I've said it a couple of times myself. You may have heard me in this video. But that's not a bad thing, because this bike kit is beautiful. Like, the bikes did not need updating, so, you know, it stands to reason that they're not updated. Loads of gubbiny bits that we don't care about. Dice, not square dice, they're rounded corners, thankfully. Obviously, they're 6-sided, so they are square, but you know what I mean, not pointy corners. Don't judge me. And these are cool. They're like symbol dice, and obviously they mean different things, and we are going to cover that. We have had a look at the rules. I like the mats. I think the mats are really, really good. I'm interested to see what size they are when we whack them all together to make one large map. Does it cover a full 4 by 4 foot game board, 3 foot by 3 foot? Again, hopefully that's something we'll find out. I've been largely staying away from a lot of the articles, because you guys know when I like to do things like reviews and things like that, I like to, where possible, be as authentic as possible, which means I don't like to have previously formed an opinion on stuff. Like, these are the sprues here. These are the first time I'm seeing these sprues other than the leaked pictures. But yeah, I like, when I look at something, I like to be able to give an honest reaction, not try and recreate the reaction I had the first time I saw it. So yeah, I mean, I know I've just done a video on these, and I'm pretty confident that that is the full sprue, or full sprues in that case, because you do get 3 in a bike set. And that's good, that's brilliant, that's what we want. Well, actually what we want is these bad boys: chain arm, mace arm, wacky pipe arm. You know, that's all the good stuff we want. And then obviously the scenery itself, and they're sticking with this coloured plastic thing, which I don't know if it's a fad or it's here to stay, but Games Workshop have done it before, and then it went away and it's come back. But I really like, I mean, the detail and stuff on this scenery is absolutely beautiful. You know, a lot of thought's gone into it, and as I said, I genuinely hope that they do bring this out as a full separate kit. So I'm very, very excited for just the scenery alone. £90, do I think it's worth it? Well, let's quickly have a look. So, Games Workshop. This is something I hadn't planned to do. I'm just now doing it. So, Orcs. There's the £90 Speed Freaks. Bikes. £24 for a set of bikes. So, 48 for 6 bikes. That's my tiny little Orc running around in the background causing havoc. But yeah. So, 2 vehicles, buggies, they're a nice size. They're probably going to be like 25, 30-ish each to buy. We haven't had any word on those yet. I know obviously they're coming out separate because got to milk the cash cow. But no, it makes sense. You know, people are going to be sinking £90 on Speed Freaks. They're probably not going to buy those other vehicles. But if you release those other vehicles a couple of weeks later with the Orc Codex, just drop the Codex already! Sorry. I'm okay. But yeah, So yeah, I think 90 quid's probably worth it, to be honest. The scenery's nice, the mats look okay. I haven't been in store actually to have a look at them in person. I'm going to pop in this week. For those of you who frequent the Games Workshop near where I do in Sunderland, Kyle, the manager, is going to be leaving soon, so make sure to pop in and say goodbye to him and thank him for all his wonderful, wonderful help over the years. So I'll be popping in this week at some point when I get time off work to be able to have a look at the Speed Freaks thing and obviously share my fond farewells and such. But yes, Speed Freaks, I think 90 quid, probably worth it. So now let's go all the way back to the 1st of October. Now, that was a while ago, I'm sure you'll agree, but we got some Orc stuff straight off the bat. What this did was this introduced Orcs, 2 new players, as well as a cheeky little refresher for us grizzled old war bosses. I'm not going to read through it because I think it loses some of its magic. It's not like when I read through some of the other articles. This is purely just, fluff dump. So me reading through it just takes away from you guys reading through it probably more coherently. So I will put the links to every one of these pages down below for you to check out in your own time. Do check them out. I mean, you might as well. What you're losing? You're losing nothing. That's what you're losing. So go and do it. But yeah, it's actually a really decent article. Some gorgeous artwork, but then Games Workshop has always produced gorgeous artwork, except this kind of gash. I do apologise for the use of gash, but I hate this style, I really do, and I know some people love it, and that's cool, because opinions are just that, they're opinions. You can have yours, I can have mine, nobody's losing anything. But I don't like this art style. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it 100 million times. I don't like it. I did actually show it to my boys, to be fair, and said, what do you guys think of it? Parker doesn't like it. Parker prefers this kind of thing, the youngest one. The oldest one thought it was quite nice. So, even amongst kids, it's a bit varied. But anyway, I digress hugely. So you get Big Macs, Weird Boys, Pain Boys, Runt Herds, Time for a Wag, gives you a load of bits. So it's worth a little check out. Is it really giving you anything new? Not really. If you've been collecting Orcs as long as I have, most of it, if not all of it, you've already read. But it's worth a little gander anyway, so, treat yourselves. You guys are worth it. Get over there. Then, why did I not open this in the right order? So, I think the next thing we got was on the 3rd. We did get a thing about banner polls and stuff, but I'm not looking at that. Rule stuff I'm saving until the Codex comes out. I'm not really one for... Oh no, this was it, 2nd, revving up for Orktober. But yeah, as I said, I'm not really one for going, leaks and rules. As you've seen, I never ever cover leaks on this channel. Until it's officially announced, I don't deal in speculation for the most part, except when I make wild accusations and speculations. That's different. So, revving up for Orktober, to celebrate the return of everyone's favourite green-skinned, warmongering, barbaric Xenos this October, or Orktober, sorry. That's a fantastic sentence, it really is, isn't it? Just encapsulates everything you want. Everyone's favourite, green-skinned, warmongering, barbaric Xenos. Well, it's all true and all excellent. We've got an entire month's worth of exciting content for you to help get you in the mood for the WoW. So, you will notice that exciting content. A lot of people have been whinging that we didn't get to see a lot of models and things like that, but it never ever said that's what it was going to be. Devil's advocate. They never ever said they were going to show us models and we were going to get 2 releases. If I'm honest, what I would have liked was Kill Team on week 2, Orc Codex on week 4. That would have made me happy. But there's that little tiny part of my brain that's like, Orktober was all about Speed Freaks. Maybe when we get the Codex, which is looking realistically like it's going to be either November or... Let's have a look. Yeah, 3rd of November is really the earliest now we're going to get it, because 27th is when Speed Freaks come out. 3rd is going to be, if they announce next Saturday on the 27th, the pre-orders for the Codex. Looks like it's the 3rd is when it's going to release. Realistically, I would say it's probably going to be more like the 10th or something like that. I would love to be wrong, I really would. But that's how I would have done it. I would have done week 2 being Speed Freaks, week 4 being the Codex. But I'm kind of hoping, in my hoping of hopes, that the reason that they're putting the Orc Codex back is because we're getting some new Orc boys and some other cool kits. But who knows? We need a new Ghazghkull. We do. I've got really small. I've got Ghazghkull and Makari, which was actually the second Ghazghkull, I believe. I've got Ghazghkull as a war boss. I've got Ghazghkull. Oh, sorry, in Mega Armor. I've got Ghazghkull in Mega Armor in Finecast. I need a bigger Ghazghkull. He should at least by this point be the same size as a Primarch. He should be in plastic, and I should buy 10 of them. I'm just saying. He should. But that's by the by. That's what I want. But yeah, so they never said they were giving us models. They just said content. And they have, to be fair, all these pages. Whether they were worth it, something we'll discover within this. So we got this really cool video. Now everybody and his mother has looked at this video, and it's essentially ending as a Batmobile. So we're not going to watch it, but we are just going to not skip to the end. They show the model later, it's fine. I would have to open it separately and skip to that point, and I can't be bothered. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I can't be bothered. There's too much pretty to look at. And then we got these. And to be honest, the only sadness I have about Orktober is that this isn't up for pre-order today, because I want this model really, really badly. You guys have heard me comment on it before. My excitement for this model has not waned. Waned? Dwayne is the wrestler. Never mind. Let's cut. We'll start this again. No. So my excitement for this model has not waned in the slightest. I want it, and I want it now. It's my precious. So I'm a bit sad that it wasn't released as a pre-order, but I'll get over it. And these are the two that come. This one and this are the two from Speed Freaks. I actually think I would have preferred this one and this one, because they feel more racy. But I'm sure when I'm reading through it, there'll be a reason for this one to be included, other than it's probably the cheaper kit or something like that. Or maybe that gets made into that, and that. I don't know. We'll look into it. I'm hoping to see some sprues soon of the full kits when they're ready to buy. And then anyway, it gives you a little. Next up is the Orc Codex itself. This features bespoke rules for the 6 major Orc clans, dozens of powerful and thematic stratagems to use in battle, selection of Wazzy psychic powers, and updated data sheets, including the all-new wagons that feature in Speed Freaks. So that's cool, and that's what I do like, is the bespoke rules. I think Orcs for so long now have kind of leaned away from the thematic awesomeness that was Orcs originally, where your 2nd edition Orc Codex and your Bad Moons were this, and your Speed Freaks were that, and then it became all about the different sort of clans and tribes, and it was good. But I think it lost a lot of its thematicness. So I like an army where it's like, all these are my Death Skulls, all these. This is a really big war. It's pulled it all together. But it did actually make a lot more sense, obviously, the way they've been doing it. But I would like to see a lot more customization with the Orcs. Make them feel a little more ragtag and a less regimented. I think what I'd kind of actually like to see, if I'm honest, is with your vehicles. Obviously, they'll have the new ones all fully statted up, but I'd really like to see just like you buy a generic buggy and you convert it as you want, because it's very orky. So you can like pay X points and whop on some extra plates, pay this much and get this gun on it. I'd really kind of like that, I have to admit I will. But then you get this really cool picture. And this picture has been the subject of a lot of speculation. People zooming really far in and trying to figure out what certain things were. You will obviously notice everything on its bigger bases. And that started a much larger debate amongst us nerds. Because, well, you know what we're like really, don't you? Let me drag this here because it's really bothering me. So yeah, so this picture's been much scrutinised by many better channels than I. So we're not really going to go into it in that much detail. But then we're going to look at what we got next, which was this, the 3rd of October. So again, we are getting all content every day. You will notice that we're on, what was it we said we were on now? The 20th, and I don't have 20 pages open there. So they gave us a lot of content, but not content every day. And I gave you content virtually every day, and my channel's crap. So Games Workshop could have stepped it up a bit. But anyway, so it says, you can't fail to notice that it's a very green month. It's October, and everywhere you go, the war is calling. So Black Library's getting in on the act as well, because Games Workshop, if there's one thing they're good at, it's knowing when to try and push old products to try and make a bit of extra cash. Kill Team. Do apologise. I love Kill Team, don't get me wrong, but it is just a way to push old models. And that's not a bad thing. It makes sense. It's Games Workshop are a business at the end of the day. I know there are times we'll whinge about their prices and we'll whinge about not getting new models, but at the end of the day, they are a business. If they don't sell their crap for the whatever price they're wanting to charge for it, then there won't be a Games Workshop and we won't get the pretty models. So we all lose out in the end. So we can either bitch and whinge about it, or we can just suffer and swallow the GW-sized dick that goes in our wallet / mouth every time they release something new or they repackage something old. It's all good to go, oh, we'll just boycott it, but then Games Workshop will close, and then we won't have Games Workshop at all. And for some of you, that might be the best thing in the world. You might be jumping up for joy and celebrating, but I wouldn't be one of those people. Back to it, anyway. And so, the Beast Arises series, which is a fantastic series, tells the story of an Imperium at relative peace and an Orc Empire that threatens to overwhelm it. Honestly, these are some of my favourite Black Library books, other than the Horus Heresy itself, which is just absolutely amazing. And then obviously it's got the War for Armageddon, it's got Yarrick the Omnibus, and I love reading the Yarrick stories. I like Yarrick as a character. I think he's really, really strong. I don't mean really strong like Hulk Hogan strong. I mean like he's a really strong character. His personality, his determination, his sheer stubborn will, to be honest. I really like Yarrick, and I love reading about Armageddon. And there's a load of people online. I won't drop any specific names. Just Google Armageddon, Warhammer 40k Armageddon, and you'll find a lot of stuff on YouTube of people who just dissect everything and put it in chronological order and things like that. But it's good, and that's what matters. And then the Red Suns, for a few years now, author and noted greenskin lover Guy Haley, is that right? Yeah. Has been sneaking stories of the Red Suns mech mob past Black Library editors and out into the world. The first tale featuring them was the engine of Mork, which centres around the mightiest of greenskin war machines. I do apologise, I've still got a little bit of man flu. But yeah, so what they're saying is, Black Library are re-releasing a load of really cool books, and then we get this big adventure, blah 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 blah, go check it out kind of thing. So again, no new models, but we expected that, but we did, get some Orky content. Then we jumped to the 11th. Now there was little bits in between, don't get me wrong, but it was all just kind of, if we get so many likes on Facebook, we'll reveal what this is. If we get so many blah 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 blah. Neither here nor there. Maybe there were some little bits in the middle, but basically this was the next big one. And this is the different vehicles. So, October 11th, a mystery revealed. Yeah. Okay, so your votes are in, but before we reveal the result, let's take a moment to reflect on what we know so far. To celebrate Orktober, we've revealed and named some of the amazing new Orc vehicles that will feature in the Totally Wah. Yeah. Okay, so some new Speed Freaks game, and as datasheets in their own right, in the eagerly anticipated Codex Orc. Here's a refresher on what you've been so far. So, yeah, it's just Games Workshop generic hype machine. Warhammer Community page is obviously going to be a hype machine for Games Workshop. Like, I don't know why we're expecting anything else. Like, people all the time are whinging about it, like, all they ever do is promote Games Workshop. It's a Games Workshop page. Like, yeah. But anyway, so, let's look at these individually. So, we get... It's beautiful, it really is. Like, I'm not going to lie. It is what it is. It's a fantastic piece of kit. It looks very orky. It's got spikes on the front. It's got the teeth that we always imagine, like the plate guards. The orcs are slightly more cartoony, but you'll notice that with all of them now, they've got that kind of more cartoony, comic booky feel than, say, some of the older orcs. And like these, look at those teeth. Look at that. Where's the big ones? Where's the big jutting teeth? We saw this on the Uruks, where they kind of scaled down some of the pointy teeth. I felt anyway, and I didn't quite like it, if I'm honest. But yeah, that's the custom booster blaster. It's very orky named. Then there's the Death Killer War Trike. We've heard me rant about this so many times in a positive manner, so I won't do it again. But It's beautiful. I love it. Then there's the Shock Jump Dragster. Now, I am mixed on this one. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I can absolutely see how it works in Speed Freaks. It's a racer. It looks like a sports car, but it's orky. So yes, I get it. All the bright lights. You know, it's orky. It's for racing. It's fast. I can't ever see me wanting to use one in an orc army though. It doesn't feel ramshackly, and it doesn't feel kind of bodged together. I mean, in a Speed Freaks army, I can absolutely see it, because when you look at that, you can imagine that there's a mech who's just taken time on that. He's tinkering with it. He's always messing with it. He's just fine-tuning it, getting the blades to spin faster so they grind up more, messing with the engine, you know, painting them red on the inside of every piping so it goes faster, that kind of thing. But I can't see it being used in a battlefield. And it might just be me, and you guys could be wrong. And if... sorry, I mean, you guys might think I'm wrong. That was a Freudian slip right there. But you guys might think I'm wrong, and if so, let me know in the comments. Like, why, you know, if you think, oh no, that fits perfectly on a battlefield, that's cool. But for Speed Freaks, I think it's brilliant, and I will definitely be excited about painting up. So this is the Boom Daka Snazwagon. And I love this model. I do. And we're going to look at it. One thing I hope is that this isn't an essential. Like, I'm hoping that, like, that sticks to there without there being some gap, or you get some gap to cover the piping, or something like that, so that I don't have to have 10 of these that all look identical, because I have to have a grot on the front. It's very Mad Max, which I like. Again, it's got the orcs hanging out and things like that, and they're good. Again, smaller teeth than I'd like. These top teeth are good. I just miss kind of the jutting, the two big ones either side. Is it your incisors? I'm terrible with teeth. Well, teeth. I use them as a currency, nothing more. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind them. I like the vehicle itself, though. That's the main thing. And I wish I could do this paint job justice. I might have to get out my airbrush for it, because I don't think I could do that justice with a paintbrush. But I've been kind of staying away from my airbrush recently because of the amount of maintenance and cleaning and stuff it does. But yeah, I really like this vehicle. I think out of all the new vehicles, this is my favourite. Again, I love Mad Max. I love the originals. I love the new one with Tom Hardy. It's got a very Mad Maxy feel to it. I love the Hulk on the back with the massive gun, but he's also lobbing a Molotov. Love the guy hanging out of it like I'm driving, but I'm still an orc, so I'm going to whack you if I can. The only thing I would like is, I hope there's a way to maybe replace that hand so he's not holding a Molotov as well. So maybe he's holding a big pipe or something. I think that would fit the way I see my orcs better. But I like it. I think it's a really, really good, strong kit. And I'm interested to see if there's other options or whether it has to be built just like that. Then there's the Batmobile. I love this model. So as you can see here, it's called the Megatrack Scrapjet. And it's fantastic. It really is. I think it's a brilliant addition to any army, but you've got to be remiss if you're not painting it up to look like a Batmobile. Obviously, because my current orcs are blue and red, I think I'm going to have to put a cheeky bat symbol somewhere, though, or something like that. But I really like this. I love the sort of World War II pilot orc. Again, it's a good sculpt. Slightly bigger teeth, you see them there? It's my own personal thing. Don't judge me on it. I love the track. Love the wheels. The only thing I think I don't like about the wheels is they don't have, like, if you notice on the current orc kits, like the battle wagon and the truck, they've kind of got these metal platings over the wheel. With some have spikes on, some are just there. I think these are missing them. And let me just check actually if some of the other kits we just looked at have them. No, so that doesn't. That doesn't. That doesn't. So they don't really. No. Oh, this one does. At the back. And kind of these little platey bits. And it's not an essential. And it wouldn't stop me liking a kit. But I just like them. I like them on my orcs. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll swap some of these wheels out. Who knows? But this kit is awesome. I really, really like it. And then it's like, what's this? And you had to vote. Was it a blah, 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 or a blah, blah, blah? And this is it. And this is what we got. And So, let's have a look. Which one is it? It's a squig-based weapons platform. Dum dum dum. So 7,000 people voted. Yada yada yada. Games Workshop, Games Workshop, Games Workshop. Blah 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 blah. Boom. So yeah, I'm hit and miss on this. I think actually I really like the look of the vehicle. I like the squigs. I like the orc who's basically about to stuff a squig in there to shoot it. I like the front. I like the wheels. They look very mashy. I like the little blades on the sides, which I didn't actually notice the first time I saw it, like little buzzsaws. I think I like everything about this. The only thing I don't like is the paint scheme that they've gone with. So I really want to see a couple of these painted up in like reds or some goth colours. And I think that's going to make a very, very big difference to it. But do I like this model? Yes. I think it's very good. I can see me buying a couple of them and converting them up for Gorkamorka to use as trucks. Smaller trucks, because I quite like the smaller trucks, I'm not going to lie. I like the old style truck that you got with Gorkamorka. Don't get me wrong, I like the new trucks. You guys have seen my videos. I'm very pro Orky truck in general. But yeah, I think these could make very good trucks with a bit of converting. So we'll see what's coming on. So, then we jump to, the 14th. And it says, next week, Speed Freaks, a new chapter of Orc history is beginning, and the Speed Freaks is its vanguard. Vanguard, eh? You're not stealing that from any other company at the minute. I know it's just a word, but obviously Mantic at the minute have got a lot of Vanguard stuff going on. It's probably just coincidence, but I like to see things where they're not there. So yeah, so this was the first little, this is what you get in Speed Freaks, or this is like your first proper hype. There's no point covering this. We've actually covered Speed Freaks itself. I'm still going to put the article link in the description though for you guys to peruse at your own leisure if you feel the need. Now here, the 15th, this is where we started to get really into it, and that was the start of this week. I believe it would have been Monday or something like that, maybe Tuesday. So we hope you're all ready for the Speed Wars. We're about to kick Orktober up a gear, finally, halfway through. With all the new Orc vehicles unveiled and Speed Freaks available to pre-order this weekend, it's time for us to take a look at the game itself. Getting ready to rook. Now, this is brilliant. So the game includes 4 rooks, each of which is part race, part fight, fought between up to 8 players depending on the rook. Victory conditions in each rook vary from shooting and crumping the vehicles of the rival speed mobs to blowing up their stuff or getting across the finish line first. So I love this. I love the fact that they're called rooks. You know, it's proper orky, innit? You know, let's get in a rook. Let's get in a hustle, a fight. Let's blow something up. Let's smack something. Let's shoot something. Let's mash and mangle something. A rook. I love it. But yeah, back to me not hyping on about the word rook. So one such rook is the Grand Smash, a classic demolition derby where victory belongs to the speed mob that scored the most points by destroying rival models, even if their own speed mob is subsequently wiped out. In fact, you'll be able to see this particular rook in action in November's issue of White Dwarf. Well, by Jove, I think I'm going to buy my first White Dwarf in about a year, because I want to see this. So yeah, so this is the Grand Smash. You each start in a corner. I'm guessing you each mush into the middle and you mash each other. Like I said, I know what the articles are, but I purposely made a point of staying away from them so that everything I read and stuff is new. So once you know what rook you're using, then you pick a speed mob to play with. Each speed mob comprises of 4 models, 3 war bikes, one of which is a boss knob, and your wagon of choice, one of 6 shiny new vehicles we've been showing off recently. There are 6 Warbiker data cards and 6 wagon data cards, one for each different type. The 2 in the box and the 4 additional wagons available soon. Games Workshop, you know what you're doing. Get this now, but you're going to want those other wagons. Spend, 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 spend. Make it rain. Games Workshop shareholders just lying on the floor counting the cash. Except apparently their stocks are dropping, but we don't cover that kind of thing on this channel. We cover shiny models and me ranting about the lack of shiny models on some occasions. But yeah, so you got these cool little data cards, and let's have a look at them. So you've got your armor, your hit, melee, driving skill, and then the weapons itself, little bits of abilities there, and I'm assuming different vehicles have different abilities. This is the Warbiker, and again, that's the normal Warbiker, but that's the boss knob, and he's obviously got different stats, and we'll know when we look at the rules in more detail exactly what they are. Don't worry guys, we will be unboxing this, we will be doing some playthroughs on how to play. I'm probably going to enlist the help of Sparks and some people who actually absorb rules, because I tend to get them by playing them. Like, I can read, I have the ability to read. Like, I'm not someone who cannot read, I'm not illiterate. I can read and I take it in, but it's only when I start playing it that it really sinks in for me. Some of you are the same, some of you are like Sparks and you just touch a rule book and it's absorbed into your conscious. And then, I don't know, maybe something he did when he was like 15 is just gone, but it's replaced by somewhat productive, a rule book. So, either way, each rook takes place over a number of game rounds or until its victory conditions have been met. A game round consists of the following phases. The cunning phase. Brutal and cunning, or cunning and brutal. You pick. So, players secretly allocate their 10 Speed Freaks dice into cunning, speeding and shooting pools on their dashboard. The more dice you allocate towards cunning, the more likely you are to be able to activate first vehicle in each subsequent phase of that round. You must allocate at least 1 dice to speeding pool per surviving vehicle in your speed mob. After all, orcs would never stop intentionally, and I like that. It makes a lot of sense. You have to move. And it's how much you move, obviously, is different. And then the speeding phase. First of all, you assign at least 1 dice from your, or die it should be, at least 1 die from your dashboard speeding pool to each of your vehicles. The more Speed Freak dice, that one is dice, I'll let you have that. You allocate it to a vehicle, the faster it is likely to move, and less likely it is to stall. When you roll to determine how many gubbins you can place end to end to create a trail, and that's kind of these little bits, it shows you how it moves. And that, again, that's the kind of Gaslandies part of it. And I'm hoping there's more similarities, because I love Gaslands, as you guys know. But anyway, and then it's got ramming, and then it's the shooting phase, which is shooting people. We're not going to cover that in great detail, are we? And then there's the fighting phase, where 2 gosh darn orcs are going to whack each other, and your models need to be within 2 inches of each other, so they can do some good old-fashioned crumping, as it's known, which I'm pretty sure was a dance at some point, maybe in the early 2000s. It was a dark time, we don't speak of it. But anyway, yes, so they gave us a basic overview of the rules, and everybody should check it out, because, well, Speed Freaks. Then, we got this. Oh, I'm turning orky now. So, on the 16th, we got Speed Freaks, the Blaster, Booster Blaster, or the Custom Booster Blaster. English is my first language, honestly. So, Speed Freaks is available to pre-order this weekend, so we thought we'd take a closer look at the new miniatures that come in the box. Today is the turn of the Custom Booster Blaster. We'll be discussing some dead cunning tactics and how you can get the most of this awesome ride when it comes to a rook. So, and in this one, and we're not going to cover it in detail, as I said, I like you guys to check these things out for yourself, because also I don't really like Games Workshop to flag my content for basically just telling all the rules. It's the same as I don't tend to look through codexes a lot. Pardon me. We are going to look through the Orc Codex, so don't get me wrong. We're going to look at that in great detail. I am going to cover points costs and things like that, though, so you guys still need to buy it. Don't, as much as I would like the extra views when you have to keep going to my video and skipping to the part where you want to see the cost of a truck or something, I'm just going to cover those for ease. But yeah, so it gives you some tactics, tells you a little bit about that vehicle. It's a really good little article, actually. This is the one I did actually cheat and read on the way home from work, because I travel on a peasant wagon, or a bus, as it's known for anyone not in the UK, home from work, so I couldn't resist. I had a bit of a read. But check it out, it's really good. I'm not going to, as I said, cover it in great detail here. Now this, Orcs, the vehicles. This came on the 17th. This week, we've been taking a good look at Speed Freaks, the new game of vehicular combat in the 41st millennium, and a great place to start collecting your speed wire. This set features 2 new vehicles. We already know all this. Today, we're taking a look at the latter to help you choose which ones you add to your army. So yeah, this is looking at Speed Freaks within the context of the new codex that's coming out, which is brilliant. So we've got this, and this is our first one, which is Billowing Exhaust Clouds. Use this stratagem at the start of your movement phase. Select a Speed Freaks unit from your army. Until the start of your next turn, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by ranged weapons that target this unit. This costs you 1 command point. Well, I'm pretty sure this used to be a thing, just a basic rule actually. I'm sure the smoke from the bikes used to give you cover in the 4/5th edition rulebook. I don't know if they still do in 6th, or did in 6th, or they do in the index, because as I said in previous videos, I lost not love of orcs, but love of Games Workshop's love of orcs, if that makes sense. I thought basically they were phoning it in. But I'm pretty sure orcs used to get that rule. Or they got a better armor save or something like that. I would have to go back through my old codex, which I might actually do at the weekend. Just not this weekend, because this weekend is obviously pre-order day. But next weekend, when I won't really, because I'm going to be on Speed Freaks. What I'm saying is at some point I need to check out my old codexes, because they're really good. I read the 2nd edition codex, they're fluffing it quite a bit actually, once a year or so, because orcs. But yeah, so the linchpin of any good orc vehicle army in the new codex is the Death Killer War Track, which is obviously the one with a bike, with a war boss on. And yeah, so it covers the different vehicles, and again, I'm not going to run through it because you guys can check them out. I just love that model, I really do. But yeah, so it covers all the different bikes and stuff like that, but it covers them in the context of 40k, not in Speed Freaks. That's really cool. This article is a bit of a must for anyone who's planning on doing Speed Freaks within their army. I will have a Speed Freaks contingent within my army, but it's not the main source of my army, so I'm not as fussed on this. Although I will have 9 bikers, so maybe I am doing a Speed Freaks army and I don't even realise it. But then it gives you building the Speed Freaks army itself. This was on the 18th. So the new codex, Orcs, is nearly upon us, and we reckon that if you're anything like as excited about it as us, you'll be starting a new army with it. I am excited, but that's because I've been waiting for a good Orc codex since 4/5th edition. That being said, I don't know it's a good codex yet. I'm just kind of hoping and praying, because actually, the codex recently have been knocking out the park, to be honest. Some people might disagree, and that's absolutely fine. You have a right to do so. I think you're wrong. But, again, opinions. But I actually think that they've been doing a really good job since 8th edition came out with their codexes. Maybe, perhaps, except the Space Marine one. I wasn't that fond of that. But, by the by, Orc one I'm really, really excited for. I think they're going to do well. So, again, here they put out an article which gives you the PowerPoints. As I said, I don't use... you may have seen other videos anyway. I kind of rip the mick a little bit out of PowerPoints. It's like what I class as toddler gaming. And that's fine. When I play 40k with Harley, my oldest, who's 10, we've kind of moved away from PowerPoints now. I do help him with list building and stuff like that. But yeah, PowerPoints are like your dumbed down version of how to play the game. And that's cool if that's what you want to use. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying it's not for me. But anyway, it kind of shows you how to build your beautiful, beautiful little Speed Freaks army. Again, really good article. Definitely take a look at it. If it had proper points values, I'd probably be a bit more interested though. And then, my favourite article so far, the Games Workshop have done for Orktober. And this dropped yesterday, and I've been absolutely dying to have a look at it. I've seen the pictures, and that was enough for me. That was my favourite, my absolute, honest to God, favourite article. And I've not even read it, because the pictures were brilliant. You can tell I'm an orc, can't you? Or I'm certainly orky. So, have you heard the news? The orcs are back in a big way, with a new Speed Freaks box game and a codex on the way. It's a good time to be green. But did we mention there were loads of new vehicles coming too? Well, yeah, you did. A number of times. The mech boys of today are spoiled for choice, with a host of buggies, bikes and battle wagons to choose from. But what about their forebears? Let's open the archive and take a look. So, orcs have been part of Warhammer 40k since the earliest days. While the first few orc miniatures were infantry, it didn't take long before some enterprising miniatures designers, mech boys in training as it were, and a flash of inspiration gave us the first orc vehicles to hit battlefields. They're a bit different than what we have today. So first thing we have is the Orc Dreadnought. It's a hideous kit, but I absolutely love it. And it was powered by a grot. Look at that. which today would be a killer can, I guess, by standards. But yeah, they're not nice looking models in the slightest, but they've got that feel of that era that I just absolutely love. So next we have this. Now this buggy is fantastic. This buggy is fantastic no matter what era it is. Look at that. You've got your bad year tyres, you've got an Orky, it's that classic kind of Ork look, you've got the kind of Nazi pan on head kind of helmet. I really like this. So, made of metal and a bit smaller than model models, they are still recognisable as a war buggy and Def Dread, which was just known as a dreadnought back then. They were quickly joined by precursors of the War Track and Scorchers and war bikes, and even an Orktober on a war bike. Back then, the knobs, as they're now known, didn't ride their own bikes. That wouldn't leave them enough hands for crumping stuff. So, we've got these guys. So look at that, the old War Track. Could that be any more sort of Mad Max meets World War II? Look at that commissar hat. Oh, I love these old models, I really do. This was kind of my era when I started getting into it. These were the vehicles we had, and I absolutely loved them. And then look at that, the war bike and your Orks, and they were the first Mega Knobs, I guess. Like, I've never seen these in my life. I saw the next iteration of Mega Knobs before the cool, big, chunky, really expensive metal ones, and then the plastics that were basically the same kit. But yeah, I had a couple of these bikes though, and I probably had some of the Ork infantry, but I've never ever seen these, so this is really cool for me. But anyway, yeah, the biggest and most impressive vehicle of the era was the Space Ork Battle Wagon, released as a plastic kit in Orktober 1990. It's packed with detail, including loads of crew and hangers-on. Notably, the back of the box included banner designs for all 6 of the Ork clans using the same iconography, each used today nearly 30 years later. So, I never had one of these, and this is a source of much sadness to me. I need one of these in my life. If you're at home watching this video and you have one, preferably unpainted, ideally unbuilt, and you're thinking, I don't need it, I don't want it, get in contact. Leave a comment, message us via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything you want. Just let me know that you've got one, either for sale, for trade, you want to send it in exchange for a picture of Liam in just a mankini. I'll make it happen. I want one of these desperately. I perv all the time on eBay, but I've never seen one go for less than ridiculous, and I never ever win the bids. People need to put things on eBay at times that finish when I'm not at work, because I can't watch it when I'm sat at my desk when it's, you know, the last minute and you're sniping each other. That's when I lose it. But I need this. So if you've got an old battle wagon, hook a brother up, because I absolutely need one. But I actually dived into it in 2nd edition. So 2nd edition was where most of the models from my original Ork army were from. So the 2nd edition of Warhammer 40k launched with a box game that included an Ork dreadnought. Well, sort of. It was actually a cardboard cutout that the greenskins could use to bolster their forces. And by Jove, I did. I loved that bad boy. I had a couple of them because a couple of friends gave me some. The Dread design was made in metal around the same time, and you can see the genesis of the design elements that led to today's Def Dreads in the distinctive silhouette and huge claws. So, I had many of these. Because I think up until the plastic Dreads, these were basically the Dread kits you could get. I'm pretty sure. Maybe they released a middle ground that was a variation on this. But I've got about 10 of these bad boys, and they're metal and they fall to bits all the time, and they make me very sad, but they're beautiful. We'll pop it open and have a better look at it, because, yeah. But it's a nice kit, it really is. It's Orky, isn't it? You can't go wrong with it. The wire and whatnot. It's beautiful. It's obviously by today's standard, it's not as ramshackly, but you can see the makings of it. You've got the rivets, you've got the Orky glyphs, you've got the big middle spot, which everybody always painted checkered, in my case really badly. It isn't ramshackled by today's standards, but it had the starts of what became kind of the Gorkamorka era Orky stuff. So, Later in this edition, we received the first plastic Orc war bikes, and then, as a real treat, an entire game dedicated to Orc speed freaks taking part in races and vehicular combat. Gorka Morka introduced plastic war tracks, trucks and buggies to the Orcs range with some additional metal parts for the track to make the Scorcher. So let's have a look. So you'll have seen me unbox these trucks, and really they're still nice. They're a nice little truck. By today's standards, it's just unreasonable that you would be able to fit 10 Orcs in the back of one. So they look a bit silly on the battlefield, but I use them as buggies in my Orc army. So if I'm setting up my army, my old Goth army, and I'm like, these are buggies. So people know what they are. It's still Games Workshop-y. I've converted them up a bit so they look less trucky and more buggy-like, but that's what I use them as, buggies. And they're beautiful. And then the war tracks. I still think the war tracks are pretty good today, to be honest. I'm very, very pro Gorka Morka, though, and I always have been. I probably always will be. So, as time went on and plastic kits became more and more impressive, the mech boys got to work and made their vehicles bigger and better. The war bikes and trucks were replaced with the models that you know and love, and the battle wagon returned to the game with a versatile plastic kit. And obviously, here we have them. So yeah, these buggies back here as well, these were released during the Gorka Morka era. They didn't come in Gorka Morka, but you could buy them as a plastic kit, and you could also buy them with metal bits that plugged on and stuff like that. It was cool. It was cool. I'm happy enough with it. And yeah, so this is the truck. This is the truck that I rave about all the time, as you guys know, and the bikes that I rave about constantly. This for me is still the best truck ever. When I ordered my Speed Freaks, because I didn't go through Games Workshop. Sorry, Games Workshop. I went through Goblin Gaming. I'm not sponsored or affiliated by them, but it's where I get all my stuff from. So if you guys want to get them, I think it's 72 quid for Speed Freaks, so pre-order it. And if you do, at the minute they're running a competition where you can get entered in to win the Grandmaster version of Titanicus. If I win it, I'll unbox it on the channel, but likelihood I win it are pretty slim. But yeah, to take it up to 90 quid, so I got the free shipping, I ordered myself another truck. And pretty much I'll do that every time I need to make an order up, I'll just order another truck. So I've got loads of these bad boys lying around. I'm currently painting one up. You guys will see that on the channel, but the next one I do, I'm gonna convert in a different way, just because Orcs, wah. Yeah, and these are going to be used in our Gorka Morka that we're doing, because we're still going to be doing Gorka Morka even though Speed Freaks is coming out. It's just going to be an entirely different thing. I know that my dad's getting in on it, and we haven't seen my dad on the channel since Legends of the Old West, so that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, so it gives us a little hoocha. Then it's like Death Dreads made the jump to plastic as well, joined by the little cousins and Killer Cans, allowing an Orc Warboss to field hordes of deadly killy walkers. And as Apocalypse hit battlefields in 4th edition, the Orcs got the biggest vehicle yet, the mighty Stomper. This was actually the biggest plastic kit in the entire Warhammer 40k range at the time, and the techniques used to make it paved the way for Imperial Knights and other huge models. A while later came another class of walker that fit neatly between the Death Dreads and the Stomper, the Morkanaut and Gorkanaut, each named after one of the gods. Now, I love this Stomper kit. This Stomper kit is by far and away the best ever kit Games Workshop have ever done. Prove me wrong. But no, as I've said, for me, the Battle Wagon is the best vehicle ever made. And one of my favourite ever Orc kits is the Storm Boys. But across all of Games Workshop, Fantasy, 40k, Necromunda, anything, this Stomper kit is my favourite kit of all time. I worked for Games Workshop still when this kit came out. My manager, Martin, man amongst men, came to me and he said, Kev, I've had a dream. No, he didn't. He didn't speak like that. He's Scottish. He said, Iron Brew, and then slapped me. Because that's what Scottish people... No, that's generalising. Not all Scottish people drink Iron Brew and slap people, although they all do. No, he was like, do you want to build it? I was like, yes, of course I do. You know me too well. So he was like, take it home, build it and paint it on the sly. We're keeping this bad boy secret. So I snuck it home. I built it. I snuck it into work under a hoodie. And I revealed it to the world, and it was a goth one. It looked a bit similar to that, some different colour panellings where, like, maybe I'd made one of those red and another one blue, where they'd taken them from other vehicles and things, and some had some little Space Marine markings on and stuff. You know, orky it up. But yeah, basically, I love this kit. I really do. I've probably in my lifetime built about I would say 10, and I've painted 2, so that's not good odds. When the missus said this year, she was like, Kevin, because that's what she calls me. Well, usually she uses words that are unsavoury, but on this occasion, she was like, this is what I want for Christmas. It's expensive, so what do you want? And I was like, meh, anything. And a stomper. And so I'm probably going to get a new stomper, so you guys will see that getting unboxed on the channel, and we'll do some cool stuff with it. The reason I had 10 stompers, and this is ridiculous, but I worked for Games Workshop at the time, so don't judge me, I got 50% discount at that point. I don't know if you still do. If you don't, Games Workshop staff, you're being ripped off, because we used to get 50% discount, and it was awesome. Before that, we used to get the weight of metal. It was good discounts anyway. But this little perch right here, and the big glyphs, I bought at least 3 stompers just to get those perch and glyphs, because I worked for Games Workshop, and I got such a big discount, and the stomper at the time was only 60 quid, so we used to get for 30, and I knew I'd build them up eventually. So I used to buy stompers just for glyphs for Gorkamorka and the perches to make scenery. That's the frivolous nature of me before I had kids. Yeah, but anyway, and then they released these bad boys anyway, the Morkanaut and the Gorkanaut, and I don't hate them. I've never owned one. I might buy one to unbox on the channel, but I was never that keen on them, to be honest. And I guess neither here nor there. I think it's okay. But yeah, these are the newer Death Dreads, the plastic ones, and these are beautiful. It's a beautiful bit of kit. I love the fact that it's got an orky face on it. It's got the little bladey knee, like the little, not bladey knee, obviously, the little blades down next to the knee. For the other arm, it's got the little... They're very versatile kits, and the killer cans, again, are brilliant. And they don't fall to bits all the time like the metal ones used to do, which used to drive me insane, because I had about 30 of them, and I was forever breaking them. And then, obviously, we got the likes of the Jets. And the Jets were really good, and my problem with it was it came out with 6th edition and flyers, and I hate flyers, and so I never used them in my army. I've got a couple because a friend gave me them. He was just like, do you want these? And you know, I converted them up into vehicle like trucks and stuff, because I like trucks, as you may have noticed. But yeah, for the most part, I'm not really a big flyer guy, but they're cool, in all fairness. They are nice models. So, that's what we've got up to so far. Obviously, they'll put out an article today about Speed Freaks and pre-ordering it, but we just looked at the pre-order, and that was enough for me. But yeah, as I said, I've pre-ordered mine from Goblin Games. You can also get it from the likes of Wayland, Firestorm, Element Games. They'll all have them at their varying price points, and their varying postage and packagings. If you want to buy it brand new from Games Workshop, it's £90. And you're within your right to do that. I always say support your local store. That to me doesn't mean you have to support your local Games Workshop. It's your local store where you buy your models, or where you play your games. Because if you're going in there to play a game, the least you can do is buy something. My local place is either Games Workshop or the very, very cool Battle Bunker. Battle Bunker is fantastic. If I go there and play a game, even though I pay to play it, I will always buy something. Whether it be a big thing or a little thing. Because that's how these shops stay afloat, basically. And if you are a person who wants to go to the Battle Bunker and buy yours, absolutely fantastic, because he'll be doing a brilliant discount as well, because Just always does. You can find them on Facebook and the likes. I'll put the link in the description below anyway. But my point is, wherever you get it from, just get it. That's all that matters. Guys, this has been a long one. We've had a look through a lot of stuff. We've covered Speed Freaks. We've covered what they've covered this month so far. This video hopefully will be edited in time to go up on the channel for the day of release. So obviously what I'm saying is I'm going to try and edit it and get it up in one day. Because obviously you've seen, I couldn't show you the pre-order stuff until today. I have left it. I know some of you were disappointed that I didn't cover some of these articles through the week, or through the 2 weeks, but I thought there was no need really. I've covered them all here in one big video. You can watch it and enjoy it, or you can just click the links down below, and which is why I put the Speed Freaks pre-order stuff at the beginning, because if you came just for that, then you're not disappointed that you have to sit through me waffling about all the articles. But yes, hopefully we'll get some stuff on the Codex soon. Once I get that Codex in my hands, we will cover that. When Speed Freaks arrives, I will unbox it. We've still got some more stuff coming. I've managed to procure some more Epic, and that's coming through the post, so I'm quite excited about that. So part 4 is going to have everything I've got so far, including the new bits, and I will show those off separately. Have run out of Army Painter Blue spray, but that's not the end of the world. It's the Lightning Blue, I believe, so I'm going to order some more. Ready to do the rest of those. I've painted up some of the Orc stuff already that we've been unboxing. I'm starting to paint up more of that as well. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, I'll be able to show you comparisons between some trucks and show you what I've converted up with my Battle Wagon, because I'm really, really liking it. When Speed Freaks comes, as I said, we'll do that. What we're going to do with the other truck that I specifically ordered, you may have remembered me mentioning it during the Speed Freaks thing, is we're going to do like I'm going to film converting it up, basically. That sentence really escaped me. So yeah, that should be good. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you're really enjoying Orktober. We are trying to put in a few non-Orktober videos just to kind of spruce things up. We've got a couple of shout-outs coming in the next couple of weeks for a couple of channels that I really, really like. We're going to have some more unboxings of Nate, because I think he does a really, really good job of unboxing them in a way that I don't. He's very professional, I believe is the term that's most likely used, whereas I kind of geek out like a fangirl and mumble over my words a lot. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if it's a channel that you really, really like. Hit that bell for notifications so you'll always be told when we put out new content. And as always, guys, pray the dice gods hope to smile upon you. Have a great Orktober, and thank you very much for your time. All is well, all is well. Take care, guys. Bye.